The movie begins with the world still recovering from the chaos left behind by global threats, and the Thunderbolts are once again called into action. This time, however, their reputation is tainted by mistrust, and the public questions whether they are true heroes or just dangerous criminals forced into service. The team, led by Bucky Barnes, struggles to maintain unity as government officials push for tighter control over their missions. Within this tension, a new underground organization begins spreading rumors about the Thunderbolts' failures, making their every move look like a disaster. The Thunderbolts are tasked with investigating a series of mysterious attacks on military bases across Europe, but the mission quickly spirals out of control. Each attack is carried out with surgical precision, leaving behind no trace except symbols tied to Hydra. The possibility of Hydra's resurgence shakes Bucky to his core, as memories of his past resurface. Some team members question if this is even their fight, while others see it as a chance to prove themselves. The mission divides them even further, testing their fragile bond. Meanwhile, Yelena Belova begins noticing strange communications between government officials and private weapons manufacturers. She suspects that someone is feeding false intel to the team, intentionally sending them into traps. Her paranoia grows as she recalls the betrayal that once destroyed her family. To make matters worse, the press portrays her as reckless, damaging her image in front of the public. The team debates whether to expose the corruption or continue following orders, deepening the distrust among them. The group travels to Eastern Europe to confront a potential Hydra leader, but instead, they discover an old Hydra facility repurposed into a prison for enhanced individuals. Inside, they find prisoners who were experimented on, mirroring Bucky's own traumatic history. This discovery enrages him, pushing him toward a darker path. The rest of the team hesitates to intervene, fearing that going against official orders would brand them fugitives. For the first time, the Thunderbolts must decide whether to follow their duty or their conscience. As tensions rise, Red Guardian tries to lighten the mood, reminding everyone that they are more than just pawns. Yet his words only highlight how broken the team has become, with Ghost withdrawing emotionally and Taskmaster struggling with fragmented memories from past battles. These personal struggles weigh heavily on the mission's progress, causing more failures. Their enemies use these weaknesses against them, spreading propaganda that paints them as unstable and dangerous. The Thunderbolts find themselves hated by the very people they're supposed to protect. The government grows impatient and sends in operatives to oversee their missions, stripping the team of autonomy. Val, their manipulative handler, secretly benefits from their failures, ensuring her control remains absolute. Bucky becomes increasingly frustrated, feeling like the team is being used as scapegoats rather than true protectors. The loss of freedom and trust pushes the team closer to collapse. Yet, despite everything, Bucky still believes in redemption, even if no one else does. A shocking twist occurs when one of the supposed Hydra leaders turns out to be a former ally of the Avengers, now disillusioned and vengeful. This revelation shakes the Thunderbolts, forcing them to confront the blurry line between heroism and villainy. The ex-ally reveals that Hydra may not be behind the attacks at all, but rather a larger conspiracy orchestrated by powerful figures within global governments. This revelation puts the Thunderbolts in a dangerous position. If they expose the truth, they risk becoming enemies of the state. Haunted by betrayal, Ghost begins questioning whether staying with the team is worth it. She starts to see herself as a liability, disappearing frequently during missions. Taskmaster notices her withdrawal and tries to reach out, but their communication is strained. The team feels more fractured than ever, as personal doubts begin outweighing the mission. Bucky knows that if he cannot hold them together, the Thunderbolts will fail not just the mission, but each other. During a critical mission in Berlin, the Thunderbolts walk into an ambush, suffering heavy injuries and losing vital intelligence. The world watches in horror as footage leaks, showing them as chaotic and reckless. The government threatens to disband them permanently, but Bucky refuses to let Hydra, or whoever is behind the attacks, win. Despite broken trust and public hatred, he rallies the team, appealing to their shared pain and desire for redemption. Slowly, cracks of loyalty begin to show through the bitterness. As Yelena and Red Guardian go undercover, they discover shocking evidence of secret government-funded Hydra experiments. The horrifying truth is that the Hydra resurgence was allowed to happen to justify more control and military power. This discovery enrages the team, confirming their suspicion that they've been pawns all along. However, exposing this truth would mean risking not only their lives but also the fragile stability of the world. The choice between silence and rebellion hangs heavy over them. The Thunderbolts plan an unsanctioned mission to raid a hidden Hydra fortress where the experiments are being conducted. The mission is dangerous and unapproved, meaning they will be branded traitors if caught. Each member reflects on their past sins, realizing this may be their only chance at true redemption. Their unity begins to reform, not out of obligation, but out of shared conviction. For the first time, they see themselves not as tools of the government, but as something resembling heroes. The raid turns brutal as they face waves of enhanced soldiers, brainwashed and experimented upon, mirroring their own struggles. Taskmaster finally overcomes her fractured memories, fighting with precision and emotion she had long buried. Ghost stabilizes her powers long enough to save the team from being overwhelmed, proving her worth. The battle becomes not just physical but symbolic. Each Thunderbolt fights against the chains of their past. For once, they fight with purpose, not orders. Inside the fortress, Bucky discovers files revealing how deeply Hydra's influence still runs in global politics. The truth is far darker than imagined, showing that Hydra's ideology never died but evolved into governments and corporations. This revelation devastates him, as he realizes his entire life has been shaped by lies. Yelena insists they must reveal this to the world, but Bucky hesitates, knowing the chaos it could cause. The weight of leadership nearly crushes him. During the climax, the Thunderbolts face the true mastermind, a powerful figure within the government who has been pulling strings all along. The battle is fierce, with the team pushed to their breaking point. Each member confronts their personal demons in the fight, proving their growth. The villain taunts them as broken tools who can never be real heroes, but together they stand against him. It is a battle of ideals as much as strength. The team manages to win, but the cost is heavy. Several members are gravely injured, and the fortress collapses around them. The files they retrieved are partially destroyed, leaving only fragments of truth behind. The public still sees them as dangerous, but whispers begin spreading of their sacrifice. Though not fully trusted, they gain a sliver of respect for choosing the harder path. Their fight leaves scars, but also a bond forged in fire. Bucky walks away from the ruins, reflecting on the burden of leadership. He realizes that redemption is not a one-time act, but a lifelong struggle. The Thunderbolts are far from perfect, but their survival proves they are more than just broken weapons. They are a family, however dysfunctional, fighting for a chance to be better. In their pain and persistence, they find humanity. The movie closes with the team scattered, each reflecting on their choices. Yelena vows to uncover more truths, while Ghost finally feels like she belongs somewhere. Taskmaster finds clarity in her memories, embracing her identity rather than fearing it. Red Guardian, battered but proud, holds on to hope for their future. Bucky, standing alone, watches the sun rise, uncertain if the world will ever accept them.